Morning, UPVOptionMillionaires.com on this Wednesday, December 28, 2017. Be real quick here as the market's going to open in a couple minutes. S&P 500 futures up over 0.3%, recovering the losses that we saw yesterday from record highs. It was not a fear-induced pullback. The VIX rallied very modestly. VXX almost closed in negative territory. This market continues to grind higher. Each pullback is met with an even more impressive recovery. And look at this pullback we had last week. Right? Very similar to the one we just saw. And then look at the recovery and then some. So that's probably going to be the outcome here heading into the end of the year. And what a year it's been for the market. Look at this. I mean, if you just went long the market, one of the top thesis heading into this year from Doug Cass, short the QQQ, the trade of 2017. Short the QQQ. Very similar chart to the S&P 500 ETF. The spiders up pretty much every month in 2017. You can actually go back to the lows in 2016, February, that marked the bottom for this market. And actually, if you go to StockTwits, sentiment was at 26% bullish, 70% bearish, something like that. And if you go from the lows in February all the way to where we are now, look at this. I mean, just gone long the market via the S&P 500 ETF and done quite well. Also with the NASDAQ QQQ, very similar action. If you look over the last 2 years, we hit our low in February. And watch, what do we have? 6 negative months, and not so much. I mean, compared to the upside that we've seen from under 100 for the QQQ to almost 160 this morning. What 158.60, something like that on the QQQ. Up, let's see, NASDAQ 100 futures. Check those out real quick. I believe they're up at least 0.4%. And then we also have Micron, which has been moving higher pre-market on earnings. You can see where we closed yesterday at 43 and change. But if you look, though, this morning, we're up over the 47 level. Analysts continue to come out, upgrading the stock at target out this morning from one analyst up at $76 a share. And you get to look at this beautiful bull flag formation. Probably going to help NVIDIA, and that's why I got some calls yesterday. NVIDIA looking to break over the 200 level. Look, this is a 2-year monthly chart. We come in a little closer. The pullback, we got oversold here. A nice W bottom formation here. Looking to break out of this over 200, hopefully in the week's end. And I got the $200 calls. So look for that for upside. Caterpillar continuing all-time record highs. Look at this. Once it broke out, long-term trendline resistance, it's been really off to the races for the meow cat. Same with John Deere, breaking out to record highs. Look at this recent formation breakout. We also have bonds pulling back yesterday. Bonds continue to bump up against this resistance line here. And if you go back, almost looks like a head and shoulders pattern. You see, even draw a trend line across here. We broke through support. Possible move down to about 122 for the TLT. Yeah, you know me. Also, junk bonds getting a little weak. Starting to possibly roll over here, a short-term head and shoulders topping pattern for junk bonds. Is there some junk in the trunk into year's end? All right, that's real quick UPB here on this Wednesday because the market's going to open in about a minute or two. Again, stock futures continue to move higher off the lows we saw yesterday. The market remains well bid. The pullback short-lived. And Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.